Cryptography is the art of obscuring content, and it's an art that goes back millennia, at least as far as ancient Rome. So we're going to look at one of the earliest known methods that's best known for its use by Julius Caesar. And what Caesar did was he took every letter and paired it with another letter, shifted 3 letters forward. For example, A would become D, B would be replaced with E, and so on. So a word like chip, for example, would become FKLS, right? C goes 3 ahead to F, H goes 3 ahead to K, and so on. So suppose we want to encode a message by shifting everything by 7 letters. Right, to do that, we would use this function, f of p equals p plus 7 modulo 26. Right, so let's try doing that using the word waiver. If you like, you can go ahead and pause, try this out yourself, then come back and we'll do it together. So the first step is converting the word into a numeric equivalent. So I'm going to go to my little table here and I'm going to grab the number for each letter. W is 22, A is 1, V is 21, E is 4, and R is 17. Now we can encode the word by passing each number into our function. Adding 7 to each number gives us 29, 8, 28, 11, and 24. Then I'll look at each of these numbers modulo 26. In other words, I'll take the remainder when I divide each one by 26. If I do that, we get 3, 8, 2, 11, and 24. Now I can get the final encrypted version by matching each of these numbers with the equivalent letters over in the table. So my encrypted version would be D, I, C, L, and 24. That's Y. Now suppose we want to go the other way around and decode the word. So to do this, we can use the inverse function. And if this is our original function here, the inverse would be this function, where instead of adding 7, we're subtracting 7. So if you go to the numeric version of the encoded word, those numbers were 3, 8, 2, 11, and 24, and pass them into this inverse version of the function, you should end up back with the same word that we started with. So the examples we've looked at so far are called shift ciphers, since they perform the encoding by simply shifting the alphabet by a constant amount. We can take this a step further by adding a multiplier, but you have to be careful with this. You can only use values of m and b that create what's called a bijection. In this case, that means a function that doesn't duplicate any values in the range. For example, suppose we chose f of p equals 2p plus 6 mod 26. Right, so here's where this is going to cause trouble for us. F of A is number 1. This is 2 times 1 plus 6 modulo 26, which is 8. Okay, fine. Now suppose we look at 11, or excuse me, N. N is the 14th letter. 2 times 14 plus 6 modulo 26 is also 8. So this isn't a problem for the encoding process. We could replace both A and N with, I had to count them up, with H, right? That's the 8th letter. The problem starts when we try to go backwards, when we try to decode a word. Because now when you see that H in an encoded word, you're not going to know where it's supposed to go back to. Does H equal an A or does H equal an N? There's no way to tell. Right? So you can do these more complicated ones. You just have to be careful about how you pick the M and B values. So this brings us to the end of our discussion of number theory. Right, we're going to be moving on from here to our next topic. But before we do that, I do want to make a couple points about cryptography. Right, first, this Caesar cipher, even the bigger ones, the so-called affine transformation ciphers, where we have an M value. These are very poor quality ciphers. They're easily broken. Right, you would absolutely never use this in a practical setting. And you may go on. Some people listening to this may have some programming experience. You may read some other things about more complex encryption methods. I strongly encourage you not to try implementing these on your own. All right, and the reason for that is modern encryption methods, methods that are truly effective at encrypting things, are very complicated. And it's easy to make mistakes. And it's sometimes hard even to see that you've made a mistake. And all it takes is one thing out of place in your code, and your 1024-bit encryption has turned into 4-bit encryption. And you can't tell, easily at least, that that's what's happened. Modern encryption, from a software perspective, it's done by very professional, very well staffed development teams. They have extensive experience. They have extensive testing processes to make sure that their code really is doing what they claim it's doing. So this is absolutely not something where you want to kind of try to go your own. Okay, so please keep that in mind. This was just an introduction to cryptography. If that's something that interests you, there is a lot of material out there. Just, be very careful trying to use this. Try to use anything you create on your own in a production situation.